Alrighty. Well, let's review John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. So, with the runtime of 2 hours and 11 minutes, came out in 2019, had a low budget of about $75 million. I keep saying that's low. That's a lot of money, but for this movie, it is low, but it's a lot. Box office ends up being $327.3 million. No joke. Tomato score for this particular movie was about 84% for critics. Audience, however, was 86%. My score on this was 10 out of 10. A short summary. So basically, John Wick has been excommunicated because he killed the last guy in the Continental in the previous installment, John Wick Chapter 2. $14 million bounty has been set on him. John rides a horse in this movie. Like, seriously. Kills a guy in a library with a book. Just a book. The whole world is trying to kill John while the contract is open. Gets run over. Gets run over by 2 cars and gets up like it was nothing. Motorcycle chase with John while on a horse while he's killing people on a horse. What? His contract keeps going up as time passes. The High Table is punishing those who have helped John. So basically, like the Bowery King, they gave him 7 slices with the sword. Winston, they told him that he needs to find somewhere else to go. The lady that offered him passage and helped him, they cut her hands. The guy cut her hands with a sword. What's I got in here? A dog eats a guy's nuts off. A guy's nuts. That's crazy. John must kill Winston, but he can't kill Winston because he just can't. He can't go through with it because Winston is like a father figure to him, and that's when the whole craziness starts. Because since John hasn't killed Winston, that means that he hasn't held up his end of the deal with the High Table. He ends up cutting one of his fingers off to give to the High Table when he was in the desert. He goes to kill Winston, like I said, but just can't do it. John gets shot multiple times by Winston. And one of the homeless assassins picks up John and then wills him to the Bowery King. And he asks John, he's like, "Are you mad, John?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm mad." Because he was like heavily injured and all that. So like that was intense. That was crazy. And it just left us on a cliffhanger. Be like, well, what's gonna happen? That's why in the 4th John Wick, it's gonna explain what is gonna happen better. My score overall, I give it a 10 out of 10. I will say though, the ending, it kind of did drag. It is dragging toward the end. It was the beginning part, good. Middle part, good. Ending part was good, but it kind of dragged on the timing. You could feel that it was dragging, which was crazy. I was like, how on earth can you feel something like that dragging? You know, it's just like, what? But yet again, Keanu Reeves does good. I can't wait for John Wick Chapter 4. I honestly, there's going to be John Wick Chapter 4, and there's going to be John Wick Chapter 5. And if I'm not mistaken, John Wick Chapter 4 is the second to last film because they plan on making John Wick 5 the last film in the franchise. So, interesting. I also have times he killed people. I think, where did I write that down? I have more people. I wrote it down here. He kills a lot of people, but I wrote down a couple of kills that he had so far. This is not a kill count or anything like Dead Meat. I'm not doing that. But I'm just saying for this particular action, movie, which is John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, he kills a guy with a book, like I stated previously. He kills a guy with a gun, which is obvious. He kills a lot of people with a lot of guns, and guns are involved, so boom. Kills a guy with a knife, kills another guy with a knife, and a knife, and then he kills another guy with a knife, except he puts a knife, like, straight into his head. And then he also kills a guy with the eye. He kills him with a knife in the eye, and then kills a guy with the axe to the head, beats up to death, uses a horse's legs, like, smacks the horse's bottom to get the horse to kick up his legs to kill that other guy behind the horse, and strangles a guy. Dog eats a guy. Wind must kill Wind's tongue. Okay. Wow. That was a fast summary. So, this movie, I liked how John was on his own and he had to find ways to survive, and he still had like a marker, like a blood oath marker, that someone had to help him so that he may go on with his journey. And then he also had a passage thing so that someone had to help him with that passage necklace as well to help him. So I'm like, what? So that's pretty much cool how it is in and of itself. And then he also had I also thought it was cool, the villain, though. The villain thought he was John Wick, but he was not John Wick. He was just a copycat, and he was a fake John Wick. And he's like, oh, are you a dog person? I'm more of a cat guy myself, is what he's saying. So I'm like, no. Nope. I'd say the most part, the main good part about John Wick Chapter 3, which I loved the most. I have a good, a bad, and I'm in between about. So the good part about it, which I thought it was, this part was really good, was how is John Wick going to survive with the $14 million bounty on his head, and he can't get any help with the Continental or anyone else? And how he finds unique ways of killing people, which he's been done in the previous installments of this franchise. But in this particular movie, it's cool. Like, there was one scene where he was in a building and there was like a gun case or whatever. He broke the gun case. He took out a gun. He took it apart, not broke it. He took it apart, and then he put it back together with different parts of different guns and had a different kind of gun, which was pretty interesting to say the least. And then killed the guy with that gun, the axe, and those knives. I thought that was pretty interesting. And then how he got on a horse. I loved that part about the film, about how he got on the horse. Like, John Wick on a horse. Next thing you know, in the fourth movie, we're going to have John Wick using a bow and arrow, and he's going to go up to... I don't know. I just hope they don't make it goofy. But so far, it's been really good. Like, each film has had a low budget, and yet has made 3 times in the box office. What? And the fourth one's going to have Donnie Yen, Keanu Reeves, and who is that one guy? I will think about that one guy's name. Okay, that was the good part about it. The fights, the action, how he was on a horse and whatnot. The part I'm in between about is more so the plot, really. Like, they had a good plot. They could have had a little bit of a better plot, but I thought they had a pretty good plot. But with the cliffhanger, really, like, I don't know if they should have had that particular cliffhanger, and they could have made it into another cliffhanger, but then again, I'm just in between with that. And then I'm also in between with the part where he has to travel through the desert, but he also cuts off his finger and offers the ring and as a token or whatever, and then tries to kill Winston, but doesn't kill Winston. I'm not very much conflicted with that part of it. I'm like, I understand it, but at the same time, why? The bad part would to be understanding, what is the bad part? Okay, so the bad part about the film is just mainly it drags. It drags toward the end. The beginning and middle, not so much. It has an interesting kind of plot. It doesn't drag in the beginning and middle of it. It drags towards the end of the movie, and you will know because it's like around the third act in the 2 hour and 10 minute. Well, not two. It's in the 1 hour and 40 minute thing. But I thought how they used dogs. The dogs were attacking people, killing people, ripping people's nuts off. I thought that was pretty cool. And I thought some of the other stuff was pretty cool too as well, you know? This movie is a great entry into the John Wick franchise / Wickverse. I'm going to call it Wickverse. That's what I need to call it. The Wickverse. I love that. In my next video, I'm going to do a ranking of the 3 John Wick films. That's what I'm going to do. I want to do a trailer reaction, but, you know, I don't know if I can do that. But nevertheless, this film was good. I was actually great, because I did put a 10 out of 10. Good would be like, what, a 7 out of 10? No, 7 out of 10. 6 or 7 out of 10 would have been mediocre for a film. But 7 out of 10 is also mediocre. On a scale of 10 out of 10, I did put a 10 out of 10. So this film is a 10 out of 10, which in return makes it a good third entry into the John Wick movies. And he also, how else does he kill people? With knives, axes, horse, a book, a belt. He uses a belt to kill people. Well, he hasn't killed anyone with a belt, but he has, like, he took off his belt and he started whipping it around and using that. I thought that was like, what? You're going to use your belt to do that? I'm like, that's actually not a bad idea. I mean, it is John Wick. He can practically use anything. He'll use a shoe. You can use a shoe. You can use a bottle of water. You can use a tin can. It's just crazy how much stuff you can use to kill somebody in this, like a tie. He can even use his coat or just. My brain fart proceeds. I don't even know. That's pretty much all that it is.